Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend, a happy Easter, and felt as gluttonous as I did by the end of the day yesterday. It was worth it. Felt kind of, miserable ish, but, still stuff from the day before. It was a good weekend overall. Hopefully, you got to hang out with some family and do whatever. I thought there were some high moments for the weekend of wrestling, but I really just I don't know. Like there was this thing going, and no offense, like that slight roll they were on, like really wasn't the greatest thing in the world. And I really didn't like the Battle of the Belts, like the main event, having it be Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose, as I thought it wasn't main event quality what they put together there. No offense to them, but it was quite subpar, in my opinion. Yell at me if you want to, but I thought, they could have done a lot better with that. Again, it's hard to put a lot of big good stuff together with the size of the people involved. But they could have done better than that. We've seen better matches come out of things like Rey Mysterio against Big Show, and look at the size difference there. It's just I felt they could have done better. Yell at me, but before we get to that, we got to talk about Rampage, which I thought had some of the higher moments of everything. Started out Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, of course, with Regal, in the vicinity. Defeated the Gun Club, being Billy Gunn and his two kids. I thought they put together. It wasn't like a world-ending thing, but for the people involved and it being Dynamite and Wheeler's first match with them, I thought they put together a good one. And it was, with the roll up, and I know everyone keeps, talking about how much, how many roll ups there are anymore, but I mean, big old Wheeler, countering a famous or whatever he calls it now. Wasn't technically a roll up, but to get him and, just to win it that way, it made sense. They looked good together. I'm curious as to if there's going to be a woman that gets involved with that team. And Hannah looked up in it and actually kept her eyes on. So it seemed way more fun than what she sees at the machine, and that she'd actually be willing to go and see AEW live. Still said she'd go see WWE to make me happy, but she said it seems like they have more fun. The crowd's more into it and just less stupid involved. Which a lot of the time, I'll have to say I agree with that. A lot of the time. Sometimes, like AEW's put out whole entire weeks where you're just stuck sitting there going, like, what was that? You had all this time and you came up with that. Like they've had a lot of those, but I will say there's been less idiocy. Minus this week, because minus that first match. Okay, I'll say the main event of Rampage didn't completely suck. Ruby Soho defeating Robin Renegade. Really, the only thing I could even say about that is seeing twin magic being used again, except this time in AEW. That's pretty much the extent of it. No offense to either of them, but put together the greatest thing in the world match wise. So again, sorry, it's just the way it is, the way I feel. But Ruby moves on in the women's Owen Hart, tournament. So good on her. There'll be better matches as it goes on. They just need to fill brackets really at these things at the beginning. So that's why we got what we did. But I still feel they could have put something together better than just twin magic repeatedly. Like 2 or 3 times they did it. And then Cowboy defeated Adam Cole in the Texas Death Match to retain. I think it was a lot better than the one with Lance Archer. Yeah. A lot of people were talking trash, wondering why Lance Archer was even in the position, but this one was a lot better than that. Minus all the discus moves. Sorry. Really don't like discus moves. No matter who's doing them, no matter what they look like. I don't like them. Not really even sorry. Don't like them. I will forever hurt my head. even if Natty's doing it or whatever. I don't like him, but the way Cole set up the stairs, the chairs in the ring as well, and he landed on that. I mean, he sold it beautifully. And I mean, it probably did absolutely, suck for a second or two there, but they did it. And they did it safely. And I thought it looked, really painful, really, good. And again, it's Cole. No matter how much, a lot of what he does hurts my brain. He's still super, super talented. And they put on, again, a good match. No matter who he's, with, it's very repetitive, a lot of the stuff he does, but he put on, a good match there. So, I mean, again, they made the Lance Archer one really just look even worse with what they did. But, Hangman hitting that dead eye off the apron through the table to get, Cole counted out in the win. I think that was a good way to end it. It looked good. And see if what they're going to do next with it when it comes to the title. Because, I mean, really, who do they have? Who would they put with him now? Or are they going to keep, Adam Cole going for it? I mean, I hope not personally, because I think there's a lot more people that are deserving of, doing it and could probably, still put on really good matches with it other than Adam Cole. It just all depends on how it works out. How AEW is. I mean, they could say it's over and then bang, there it is again. So I don't know who they put next. I don't even like to guess. Now that we got Dustin Rhodes calling out CM Punk for a match next week, who knows what they're going to do next? But hopefully, Cole's done with the title for now and let someone else jump in there. I will say I was happy that we didn't see Red Dragon or anyone get involved. So that was a positive. At least I don't remember them getting involved. I would have wrote that down. Not seeing, being a one-on-one was good. So I think that would be a very fitting end to it. But we'll see. We all know how these things work out, especially in AEW. Like, there's a lot of stuff you're just going, huh? Because they move on so fast to something else. I know we all have, the world has shorter attention spans, but you don't have to prove it by having one even worse than us when you're coming up with this stuff. But again, first match was good, and the main event, was better than the last Texas Death Match with Lance Archer. So I did actually enjoy, a lot of it. On Rampage, moves us on to Smackdown, where I don't know why they let Jey Uso talk when Jimmy's right there, because there's something about Jey talking that, I don't know, hurts my head, makes my skin crawl, whatever phrase you would like to use. It's not the best in the world at all, but thankfully Jimmy's there to back it up, as long as he doesn't get hurt and stays out of trouble. He's kind of like, Jimmy just seems like Jeff. Whenever he was staying out of trouble, then whenever he had, an injury and had a surgery, had to be off the road for a while, then you'd see him getting in trouble. So, they seem to be down that same, familiar path. So hopefully that's over. Rhea Ripley defeated Naomi. Liv and Sasha were out there. So, Sasha looking good. Surprisingly, not that much neon, but the crowd really just seemed out of it a lot of the match, which, was a problem for me, and especially as we knew it was going to happen, which didn't help, I don't think, with the crowd being into it, because we all knew that, Liv won the other day to get him the title shot. So then Rhea was going to win to go into the thing. I'm pretty sure we're all expecting them to lose and then Rhea to turn on Liv. We shall see. I think it's a good way to get them both utilized. But how far do they go if they lose this one? Or do they give them the title? It's a weird one. But it does, especially if they get the title, it gives Liv experience with one to see what she could do, which is good. That could be a really good thing, just, because she hasn't had, gold. So to having all those matches with Becky, we all can agree she looks better in the second one at the pay-per-view. I think it would be good to have her having gold, but, how long would it last? Again, how many actual real formidable teams do you actually see out there, which really is the bad thing about the women's tag division, because it absolutely, it's barren. They just throw people together and kind of sucks because of that. It's nothing of their own doing, but it's just gotten so bad with releases and all that, and literally random teams being thrown together that it's lost all of it. And Carmella and Zelina really didn't help with any of that, with the way that was. But we'll see. I really do think that Rhea and Liv are going to lose, and then Rhea's going to turn on Liv, and that'll carry on for a pay-per-view or two. It could be the other way around. Who knows? But then again, Sasha and Naomi lose, and all this, sooner or later they'll break up because that's what always happens. Just where does it all go? No matter what, it sucks. Not their own doing. The writing team, creative, people that were released, like all that, they're putting all this together. So again, what do you do with it? They made their bed. They have to lay in it. But comment and tell me if you think there's anything. Again, like Shayna and Naomi, that could be something, but you really have to think about anyone that you could actually believe as a team that isn't, just ridiculous, which is the big problem and has been for a long time in that division. It started out with so much promise, and now it's turned into the giant, the second biggest circus in WWE, because don't forget, there's still the 24/7 title, which is just a cluster. But that is for another day, and sadly, that's tonight. And I think there's a double wedding. Something stupid's going to happen because it always does, and all that. But again, that's for later this week. Madcap Moss defeated Humberto with Angel there. He did catch Humberto diving off the ropes there and into a good fall away slam, so that looked good. It was a quick one. This is the problem. It was really quick. So we'll see where they go with him and where he is, skills wise, and how long it takes, Happy Corbin and all that to get involved and do stuff and drag that out, because I just don't think it can't be over yet. We'll see how long it takes him to do it. I really can't believe that, after the match that Gulak had with then Daniel Bryan, now Bryan Danielson, and we know how, technical and good he is in the ring. Now he's a backstage interviewer. Not only is he a backstage interviewer, he's a backstage interviewer that just got in the ring, had Charlotte put him in a figure eight, and he was tapping immediately and writhing in pain. That's a fall right there. Not only are you interviewing, people, you're tapping out to Charlotte the second she puts you in the thing. So yeah, his wrestling career is pretty much done there with the company. Nice knowing him. See what he does after he gets future endeavor, but that's exactly what that has to be, to go from, in the ring to the 24/7 stuff to being nowhere. Legit having a match with Daniel Bryan before he left, to being gone, to the 24/7 title, to being gone to that. Hopefully his contract's almost up and he can leave soon, because that just sucked. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Hopefully you never call Butch the Rabid Wolverine again. And any of us that watch, any of us that caught that, I know I was sitting there going, man, what? I wish I could hear inside his headset right now, because I'm sure someone's head was exploding just for the reference of the Rabid Wolverine. Because, that whole Benoit thing. I'm sure that legit pissed someone off. Legit. So good on him, but I bet he got his head tore off for that one, and it's just, let's not call him that again. Lacey Evans with another, one of those personal promos about her childhood. Good on her. Good to see, something different from her, as a character, and she looked great doing it. And then the main event, Riddle defeated Jimmy Uso with, Randy out there and Jay out there, and they put together a respectable match for the main event. And, it had the shenanigans that we all expect to have, happen with, who's involved in the match and all that. I will say my favorite part, though, was the ending. If you guys actually did watch it, seeing Riddle hit that, RKO to get the win, and Randy just jumping right in the wing as he hit it with the big smile on his face. And the ref just looks at him like nothing's happening, goes down for the count. No idiocy, no anything. We'll just go, pin, count, done. So good match, good way to end off the night after so much just why. And sadly, we all know what's going to happen next week. We're going to hear Roman pull the whole, I'm gone for 1 week and look what happens. You guys lose, we don't lose. We're the bloodline, la da 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 da. Because he does it pretty much every time. I'm sure he's going to do it next time we see him. So just got to wait for that to happen. So but the main event was good. Again, though, like the Gulak thing, women's tag title thing, Jay talking, still can't get over the Rabid Wolverine thing. Like, that wasn't good. That was not good at all. He's got his head removed. So hopefully, obviously he didn't get his head removed if he's still doing it next week. So I hope he isn't, but we'll really, really know next week, really, really fast. So, I mean, good on him for having the balls to say it, I guess. But with the whole Benoit thing, no one will ever tell me that that's appropriate to do. And again, I'm sure with all Vince's rules and stuff that he had, his head exploded when he heard it, which I guess is good in the end after what he gave us with, him and Pat and how bad that WrestleMania match was, and then that bad stunner bump and the way the programming's been for forever now. Like, hopefully his head exploded because he's made all of our heads explode. But moves us on to Battle of the Belts, which I might say started out, and then the rest of it, like I really just didn't like it at all. I don't know, like you guys might have liked it. People might say I'm hypercritical, but I didn't like, most of it. Sammy Guevara with Ty Conti there at ringside defeated Scorpio Sky with Ethan Page, Dan Lambert to become, the new TNT champion, make that a 3-time TNT champion. And I thought it was the match of the whole entire, best match of the night. I mean, Scorpio Sky's backbreakers looked good. The springboard cutter from Sammy to Scorpio was uglier than me in this tooth. And all of it. Like, that was gross. That was terrible looking, actually. And a shame, because normally, better than that. Paige Van Zandt showed up, and her and Ty went at it. You didn't see that coming. The second you saw Ty, you knew exactly what was going to happen. And then Sammy hitting the low blow, and the ref was distracted in GTS to get the championship and get the win. And Scorpio Sky's first loss in like a very long, hundreds of days. So that one's not going to be over because of the way they ended it. And again, with Paige and Ty, because they've been, going at it and teasing about that for forever now, it feels like. But I mean, what does that do? As everyone's booing Sammy out of the building, turn around is fair play. I think I tried to make him into a heel. Who knows? But that was still the best match of the night. Like, it really was. The first Battle of the Belts, I feel, was the superior one. I mean, no offense to them. The second match and the third match, just like, I didn't even write anything down. I don't like the main event, but I'll get into that. Didn't really like the second match. Jonathan Gresham successfully defending his title against Dalton Castle with the boys. That whole thing, just, again, I don't get to watch a lot of Ring of Honor. It's just on at weird times on whatever channel it's on. So I very rarely get to catch it. And, hurt my head. Like, and all I have is like the two lines. Like, his entrance in that hurt my head. And Jonathan Gresham won by submission. I will say, he looks like, there was good wrestling, some good wrestling in there. It just felt so rushed and so, dumb for it being the Ring of Honor title match. It really felt like they rushed that just so they could have everything that happened after happen, which, led to a pretty stinker of a match, in my opinion. And it just diminishes the Ring of Honor title, and everything that happens after it is more important than the actual match itself. That's just, to me. And so that's how I feel about it, though. I mean, you guys could tell me I'm weird, but it looked like to me and felt to me that they put more effort into Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt, whatever, coming down and attacking after the match. Like, that seemed like it was more important to them, was getting that done to extend that story instead of the actual Ring of Honor heavyweight, championship match. Again, Lee Moriarty got taken out trying to help Matt Sydal. Hit Singh with a crutch to no avail, getting ready to get hit. Enter Joe with a pipe. Everyone clears the ring. They're holding back Singh, like, you're going to hold back like that, dude. Like, you two little fellas are holding back a tree. Like, no, make it look better. Having them run away from one man with a pipe. Joe's song compared to what he had, his theme song in the Machine was far superior, sorry, than the one here. So I will say that. But his work schedule now with TNA and Ring of Honor, like it'll be less on his body, which I think will help him a lot. Like working all those days, there's a lot of people who just can't do it with the machine, their body, and they're always hurting. Yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles in that whole entire thing. I just want to see what they're going to do with Joe and Jay Lethal, which I think will be a great match down the road. I just feel they put more effort into that than the Ring of Honor title, which what was the point of having it there then? If you're going to put more effort into what happened to the assault after than the actual title, I see no point in them doing it. Again, could just be me. And then we all know how I feel, just about the main event. It wasn't good. Like there were some good spots in there, but it just didn't feel like a main event at all. Like the first match felt like it actually was supposed to be something like the Battle of the Belts, and the rest just fell flat to me. And that's all I'm going to say about it. It wasn't good. Go in the comments. Tell me. You're like listening. Go on Anchor. You can leave voice, recordings about how you felt about it. Find the Facebook page, put them on there. Like there's a lot of ways to get a hold of me and tell me what you think. But I thought that the first match was the only one actually worth of being on anything. It just wasn't good. So, I mean, judge me. I really don't care. And, again, we did get, the first match on Rampage and the main event I felt were good. I think we can all, agree. What is it like the greatest thing ever? But no, but got Wheeler's first match with Mox and Brian. It got the Gun Club, another match against really experienced guys, which is never going to be a bad thing to help them. So I was okay with that. The middle of it, Smackdown. There's a lot of Lacey with another, promo was probably, and the main event were probably the two best points, just to see her keep going and, extend her character, because we were wondering what she was going to come back with, like what she was going to do. Is it going to be the same thing? So it evolved a little, which I'm okay with. I'm going to give it time, see what it does. And she looked good doing it. Again, the main event, they put together a good match. We know it's going to happen next week with Roman, but they put together a good match. And then the first match of Battle of the Belts, was good. And then the rest really just fell really, really, really flat to me. I'm not going to change my opinion on that. It is what it is. So deal with it. Comment. Tell me what you think. But I really I don't know. There's a few highlights from the whole weekend with the 3 shows, but I mean, that was it. There's really a lot of just, and think of all the stuff that I didn't even take time to write anything down for. And there was a lot of stuff that happened that I just didn't write down because it was just so, no, hopefully, again, new week. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully they do better. I watch, continuing to hope that they're going to do, better. And there's a little, even if it's just baby steps of progress, and they keep doing it, not just slowly progressing and then taking like 9 steps back, which is having a complete suck fest. So, we'll see. I'm giving them hope though. Just maybe they'll prove me wrong and surprise me, and it won't be, a complete, suck fest and dumpster fire. So we'll see how that all works out. Again, Raw's tonight, and everything starts over again. So hopefully, that's all I'm going to say. I have zero faith, but I'm hoping for the best, while also expecting it to be absolutely terrible and the worst, so it doesn't, kill me nearly as bad. So I'm going to go. Don't forget, follow, share, subscribe, whatever the term is on all the platforms. Do me a favor, go on there, whether it's on, the YouTube channel, the Rumble channel for videos. It takes a few seconds to get on there. Follow the page, like the video, put a little comment or two underneath it, even if you're listening to the audio on all the platforms, Spotify, Anchor, Apple and Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher, Overcast. Like, it's all over the place. Follow along on them. It only takes a few seconds. Share them out for the world. Got to get this thing going. If you ever want to come on and tell me I suck, please feel free. Reach out. You can come on here. We can have a conversation about whatever you want to talk about, whether it's current stuff or an older pay-per-view or anything, or just have in general wrestling conversation. Like, everyone's always more than welcome to come on and do that. So again, reach out if you think so. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I appreciate all you. I will be back on Thursday unless there's some kind of weirdness, but I think it looks good right now. So I will be back on Thursday to talk about Raw 2.0 and Dynamite and everything that happens there. So have a good rest of your week. Hopefully, wrestling doesn't suck until we meet again. But if it does, I will still be here. So till Thursday, my friends, peace.